Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Robin Charlton-Fry, and I am here to tell a story. I'm going to tell you a story. Come gather around, children, lend this old crone ear. Let me tell you a tale to relieve you from fear of the storms in your life that will come and will go. Let me whisper to you of a few things I know. These storms are as different as each one of you. Some days there are none, some days quite a few. Some storms are calming and some storms are wild, but every storm passes, my beautiful child. I am Robin Charlton-Fry. I am a poet, a pauper, and a professional pothead, some would say, from the Mission Valley in St. Ignatius, Charlotte, Ronan, Montana, wherever you find me. I work in sobriety. I teach responsible cannabis use and education. Because I found out when I learned how to utilize cannabis medicine properly, that unless people wanted to be sober off the drugs that they were in bondage to, then cannabis just became another drug. We had to address the addiction that causes inappropriate use. And we're filming this morning. I'm live on Facebook and I'm filming it for YouTube because I haven't figured out how to do one and the other. So we're working with the tablet and we're working with the phone. And I've been in meetings this morning, and I want to tell you that there's a lot going on in our world, and it's interesting how we can help each other and how we can connect with each other, and how we can be in service to each other. We all have a story, and if nothing good has come out of the situation that we find ourselves in currently, which is a pandemic, however real or contrived you believe it to be, it's an issue in our world, and it has changed our world and changed our reality dramatically and caused a lot of fear to go on. And with that fear has come addiction, relapse, abuse, neglect, injurious behavior, theft, murder. It's become a problem. The isolation, the depression, the difficulties in our world have become a problem. And I see people allowing others to write their story for them, and I think how very unfortunate the control we no longer have over our stories, over our behaviors. I'm currently involved in a 12-step program because I'm an addict. That's part of my story. I'm Robin, and I'm an addict. Food is my first addiction, and cookies were my drug of choice. I bake some pretty mean cookies. But now all my cookies are medicinal because I respect the medicine, but I don't respect the cookies. So when I bake cookies for a sobriety meeting, because they are not medicinal and they don't have cannabis in them, I have to give them all away because they're not coming home with me because, hi, I'm Robin and I'm an addict. When you send me a pizza coupon, I feel like you're sending me heroin. It's crazy what addiction does to us and how far back it stems and how deeply it's embedded in our stories and how much it drives us, our addiction, our addictive behaviors. And I don't care who you are, you got something that drives you. It is only a problem when you are spending all your time, talent, abundance, attention, and energy searching for, acquiring, and utilizing, and then experiencing that thing, that entity that drives you. Then it's an addiction. Then it's a problem. And food drives me. Food drives me. And then the rest. Because there's a lot of stuff that drives me. First step is life has become unmanageable. That's also part of our story. All of our lives become unmanageable at some point. At some point. And then it becomes time to either continue writing the same story that is causing you so much pain, or to make changes in your reality that only you can make. Sometimes those changes come very slowly, and many people are in a position of danger, and it's difficult to make changes when your reality has collided with someone in a very violent way and you are in danger. Then maybe the only change you can make in your story is prayer. Because let me tell you something about prayer. I don't do anything else on this earth well except prayer to the God I pray to. That God is part of my story too. I want my God in my story. If you don't want God in your story, well then yay, write your own story. Stay up out of mine. Because that God gives me peace. That God gives me strength. That God provides for my needs. And that God is part of my story. And as I'm working these 12 steps, I am finding great peace in the higher power I'm being introduced to. It's difficult. It's difficult to live in the same place that you were sick. Because I was sick in this valley. And I think that's why I really try to talk to the people, anybody, about sobriety programs in the area. Because I attend several different. I attend AA some days. I attend NA some days. Some days I have a sisters meeting. Some days I go to Al-Anon. It just depends. Because my life has been so deeply embedded in addiction. It has been such a deep part of my story and the stories of my children who aren't speaking to me right now. Because those are still hard relationships for me to have with my adult children. And it's time for me to figure that out, and a 12-step program and an awesome sponsor are helping me figure that out. My sponsor came and had lunch with me in the graveyard the other day, just so we could have a few minutes of connection. Because sobriety is a very solitude-induced, or isolative, yeah, that's the word, isolative experience. When you go into your introspection and you're working your steps and you have to do your personal inventory, it's painful. Now I'm getting it. I used to sit in meetings and listen to the speakers and think they're all talking about this work that they're doing. And I'm like, I haven't picked up. I'm in service. What more do you want from me? And then this wonderful woman came into my life that is helping me figure out why I did the things that I did and injured those that I love the most. And the amends I still have to make and how difficult that's going to be. Because I see the work coming, and I'm glad, so grateful for a sponsor that gets me and has been this road before me. I think about how Montana has played such a huge part in my story. In my story of addiction, in my story of experiences that I love and cherish, memories of places and spaces and people in this country, and it's my story. So I'm going to choose, my darlings, to write my story live on Facebook and on YouTube, on this YouTube channel. Because you know what? What I've learned, if nothing else, that someday some of my brothers and sisters have words for me that get me through that day. And that's the only thing we're really promised is today. And when I was a child, my grandmother blessed me with words. She was a poet. She's a published author as well. And she blessed me, and she gifted me. And I don't know if she blessed us all this way, because she had many grandchildren and she loved them all so much. But I know that one day she blessed me with her gifts, and one of her gifts was poetry. And today, in a Zoom meeting this morning, because I have a wonderful group out of Bend, Oregon that I attend on, it's an early risers meeting, and it just sets my day so lovely. And so I sat in this meeting. The Just for Today reading was about sharing our experience, strength, and hope, and how that helps people move through it. Addiction's tough, you guys. Addiction is painful, and it's tough, and it involves so many people other than ourselves, but it's such a selfish disease. So I'm going to choose to do this recovery journey as part of my YouTube videos. And I think I'm going to call it, I don't know, because we have to name them different, because, you know, I've been talking about a lot of stuff, because I got a lot of stuff going on. I think we're going to call it maybe A Witch's Way Through the 12 Steps. How about that? Maybe you guys can help me think of a title for it. Yeah. Yes, maybe. But I'm involved in a lot of sobriety projects. Some of them are faith-based. And Zoom has become a huge platform and a huge blessing in my life. And the Never Alone Recovery Hall in Ronan, Montana, 122 East Main Street, Ronan, Montana. Those people are doing amazing things with limited resources. Amazing people there. Amazing programs that they show up for. And they show up for their brothers and sisters in sobriety. You know, I would like to start a sobriety group in Hot Springs, because I really love those people over there. But I don't know if I'll have time. And it takes commitment. And commitment is difficult for me. So perhaps that is one of the character defects I can address in my 7th and 8th step and drop the rock. Truly. Because that's what our character defects are. They're rocks in our pockets that want to weight us down when we just want to swim. It makes it hard to keep on swimming, you know, when you got rocks in your pocket. So I got a lot of 12-step stuff to do. A lot of 12-step. Right? Thank you, Heidi. You know what? I am so honored to be called that. And I used to think it was a derogatory term. Crone. Heidi, I'm a wise crone. Well, thank you. First of all, I'm honored by that title. I truly am honored by that title, wise crone. To these people on this reservation, I walk the lands of the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes in western Montana. And to these people, I am Sninet Samem. To the Salish people, I am Owl Woman. And I am at their service and the service of my brothers and sisters wherever I am. Whenever I can be. I'm so honored by their adoption and association. Jamie McClure is my name keeper, and Charlie Quickasu is my name giver. And I just have so many brothers and sisters of the indigenous peoples all over Montana and all over the western United States that I've met, that I just am so honored to be included in their circles of ceremony, and and their experiences. Like, really, truly. Lemlench, my darlings. This is how we say thank you in Salish. Lemlench. My darlings, I got a lot to do. I wanted to express my gratitude today to my sponsor for her strength, and to the people that facilitate the Zoom meetings for NA and AA, and to my darling brothers that facilitate and host the meetings that I'm involved in locally. God bless you guys. Just love them. I got a new sobriety support group here online. If you want to be part of it, let me know, and I will invite you to it. It's called Redemption Road Recovery. Something about redemption, and heavens knows I need some more of that. We all need some more redemption, right? Let me decline that. Let me give you a poem, and then I got stuff to do. It's a poem you've all heard, but because I'm filming this for YouTube and I don't have it on my YouTube, I think we will begin this sobriety experience, this video, what do they call it? Video journal, a vlog. Yeah, that, with this. This morning I awoke alone. I am understood by few. In the silence, there is solace. I will not find in a pew. In the mountains, on the prairies, on the desert, at the beach. Our Creator's grand cathedrals where false prophets do not preach. Truth is scattered to the four winds, bits and pieces here and there. Abundance borders poverty, but we don't have enough to share. Our mother quakes and trembles. She groans beneath our feet. Despite the efforts of a few, full of waste, she is replete. Disasters now pursue the wealth of men and seek to claim it for their own. It doesn't matter where one lives, there is no safety zone. Our children and our elders, our befurred and feathered friends, the ones who have no choices, tend to meet with tragic ends. On this earth I find no comfort, no house I wish to keep, no roof to keep the cold away, no floor I wish to sweep. There is no more time for planning, no time for dreams to be. If we can't reach out and help each other, then none of us are free. And I love you all. We're going to get through this together, you guys. Not all of us are going to survive to the other side. But you know what? None of us get out of this life alive, you know. Spent a lot of time in the graveyard thinking about what I'm going to do with the rest of my time on this side of the dirt before I jump in a box. What are you going to do? Who's going to write your story? It's raining in Montana. Storms. See ya.